The Engine Indication and Crew Alerting System, or EICAS, consolidates engine and subsystem indications with the Crew Alerting System. This lesson discusses only the crew alerting portion of EICAS.
Traffic. Traffic.
The Crew Alerting System includes a Traffic Alert Collision Avoidance System, or TCAS.
Terrain. Terrain.
A Ground Proximity Warning System, or GPWS. And Airplane System Alerts. This lesson discusses airplane system alerts. TCAS and GPWS are covered in other lessons. The Crew Alerting System includes 2 master warning lights and 2 master caution lights. Messages replace annunciator lights and gauge indications as the primary means of informing the crew of airplane status. Messages are normally displayed to the crew on the upper center and lower center displays, and on the captain's and first officer's PFDs. Oral annunciations are broadcast over 2 flight deck loudspeakers located overhead. Airplane crew alerting is provided by the EICAS function of the Airplane Information Management System, or AIMS, and the Warning Electronic System, or WES. The EICAS and WES are in constant communication with each other. Together, they provide crew alerting as dictated by an airplane system condition or operational situation. The WES operates the master warning lights, all oral annunciations such as tones and voices, and the stall warning stick shaker. EICAS operates the master caution lights, displays warning, caution, and advisory level alert messages, communication alert messages, memo messages, and airplane system status messages. System alerts are classified as time-critical warnings, warnings, cautions, and advisories. A time-critical warning requires immediate awareness and crew action to maintain safe flight and is generally associated with flight path control. Time-critical warning messages display here on the captain's and first officer's PFDs. In addition, the master warning lights illuminate and an associated voice warning is heard.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Push either master warning light reset switch to reset the master warning system. The wind shear time critical alert warns that wind shear conditions have been detected. Pushing a master warning light reset switch only resets the master warning system and extinguishes the lights. The warning message remains displayed until the condition no longer exists.
Pull up.
This time-critical alert warns of a severe descent rate or an excessive terrain closure rate. Once again, pushing a master warning light reset switch only resets the master warning system and extinguishes the lights. The warning message remains displayed until the condition no longer exists.
Engine fail.
If an engine fails during the takeoff roll between 65 knots and V1, the engine fail time critical warning activates. If airspeed decreases into the minimum speed region, independent stick shakers vibrate. Lights do not illuminate. Red warning level alert messages require immediate crew awareness and corrective action and are displayed here on the upper center display.
and resets the system for future warning alerts. In the event of autopilot disconnect, the oral whaler is silenced by pushing the autopilot disconnect switch. The oral whaler activates for autopilot disconnect. The oral warning siren activates for overspeed, configuration warnings, stabilizer, and cabin altitude. Pushing the master warning light reset switch silences the oral siren for the warnings associated with stabilizer and cabin altitude. For all other warning level alerts, the oral warning continues to sound until corrective action has been initiated or the condition no longer exists.
The fire bell activates for engine, APU, cargo compartment, and wheel well fire warning alerts.
The fire bell is canceled by pushing the master warning light reset switch, but the warning message remains displayed until the condition no longer exists.
Touch the highlighted area.
Caution level alert messages are amber and appear on the EICAS display, beginning below any displayed warning level alert messages. A caution alert tone, consisting of a series of beeps in rapid succession, sounds once for each caution level alert. Pushing the master caution light reset switch extinguishes the master caution lights and resets the system for future caution alerts. The message remains displayed until the condition no longer exists.
Caution level alert messages require immediate crew awareness and may require crew action. If crew action is required, it should be accomplished in a timely manner.
Advisory level alert messages are amber and appear beginning below any displayed caution level alert messages.
Advisory level alert messages are indented one space to differentiate from any displayed caution level alert messages. Notice that no lights or oral tones accompany an advisory level alert message. Advisory level alert messages require crew awareness and may require crew action basis. Communication alert messages are displayed in the lower half of the EICAS message display area and are classified as high, medium, and low. The high level is reserved for future use. A medium-level communication alert message is accompanied by a high-low oral chime tone to identify an incoming communication requiring immediate crew awareness and a prompt response. Medium-level communication alert messages are white text preceded by a bullet and appear on the first available line above any displayed memo messages at the bottom of the EICAS message display area. Low-level communication alert messages display below medium-level messages to identify incoming communications that require timely crew awareness and response. Low-level messages are indented one space to differentiate from medium-level messages. There is no oral tone with a low-level message. Memo messages are not considered crew alerts. They provide indications and crew reminders of the current state of manually and certain automatically configured airplane systems. Memo messages are white text and appear below any displayed communication alert messages at the bottom of the EICAS message display area. Let's review the various levels of crew alerts. A time-critical warning requires immediate crew awareness and an immediate response. A warning level alert message requires immediate crew awareness and immediate corrective action. Caution level alert messages require immediate crew awareness and may require that crew action be performed in a timely manner. An advisory level alert message requires crew awareness and may require that crew action be accomplished on an as time permits basis. Medium level communication alert messages require immediate crew awareness and a prompt crew response. A low level communication alert message requires timely crew awareness and response. Memo messages are indications and crew reminders of the current state of manually or automatically configured airplane systems. The Cancel Recall switch on the Display Select Panel, or DSP, is used to cancel displayed caution and advisory level alert messages. Cancel the EICAS messages. Warning level alert messages cannot be canceled. A warning remains displayed until the condition no longer exists.
Communication alert messages also remain displayed to ensure real-time display of airplane communications. The associated message disappears after crew action is initiated.
Memo messages remain displayed as a reminder of the current state of certain airplane systems. Canceling caution and advisory level alert messages only removes the messages from the display. The messages remain in EICAS memory as long as the associated conditions exist. Push the Cancel Recall switch. Pushing the Cancel Recall switch a second time recalls active caution and advisory level alert messages from EICAS memory. A recall queue displays momentarily when messages are recalled.
When there are too many messages to show at once, a paging scheme is used. Now, watch what happens when a new message is added to the EICAS display.
Notice that the most recent caution level alert message, Altitude Alert, displays at the top of the group of caution alerts. The remainder of the messages shift down one line, and a page number displays below the message display area, indicating that there are additional pages. Push the Cancel Recall switch. Notice that the advisory level alert message that was displayed at the bottom of page 1 now appears on page 2.
The page number is removed from the display, indicating that this is the last page of active messages.
Warning level alert messages always remain at the top of all pages.
Cancel the alert messages. All caution and advisory level alert messages are removed. Only red warning level messages remain. Manually capture and record any suspect condition into EICAS memory. Information about the current status of airplane systems is captured.
Push the EICAS Event Record switch.
Up to 5 suspect conditions can be recorded and retrieved by maintenance personnel after landing. Status information is available to the crew to aid in identifying system faults affecting airplane dispatch. A status display is normally displayed on the lower center display using the DSP. The status display is not automatically displayed to the crew, but may be accessed by pushing the status switch on the DSP. A status queue appears below the EICAS message display area to inform the crew that new status messages are present on the status display. Display the status display.
Information about the hydraulic, APU,
and oxygen systems is displayed. Airplane system status messages appear in an 11-line display area here on the status display. Status messages are intended to provide crew awareness of system faults that may affect dispatch of the airplane, but are never to be used to initiate in-flight decisions or crew action.
A page number indicates that additional status messages are present.
Push the status switch again to display the next page of status messages. When the last page of status messages is displayed, the page number is removed. Pushing the status switch while on the last page cancels the status display. Canceling status messages only clears the display. Messages remain in EICAS memory as long as the associated conditions exist and may be recalled by once again pushing the status switch on the display select panel. Now let's look at some inhibits to the crew alerting system. After an intentional shutdown by the flight crew of either the left or right engine with the fuel control cutoff switch or a fire switch,
these caution level alert messages indicating condition of the systems are inhibited and replaced by a single engine shutdown left or engine shutdown right caution message. This message inhibit consolidates several messages into one, keeping the amount of displayed messages to a minimum. Notice that the master caution lights and oral beeper do not activate. The lights and beeper are inhibited when an engine is intentionally shut down. When the airplane is on the ground and both fuel control switches are in the cutoff position, a single engine shutdown caution message is displayed, and the master caution lights and oral beeper are inhibited. Warning level alerts are not inhibited.
During pre- and post-flight, all hydraulic system alert messages are replaced by the hydraulic pressure system left, center, right caution level alert message. Here are some additional messages that consolidate individual system alert messages into one.
There are periods during takeoff and landing when some crew alerts are inhibited. These inhibits occur during critical phases of flight where unnecessary distractions are not wanted.
During ground engine start, new caution and advisory level alert messages are inhibited from engine start switch engagement until the first engine reaches idle or until the start is aborted. Any caution or advisory level alerts occurring during this period activate at the end of the inhibit. The status cue is inhibited from engine start until 30 minutes after rotation. If a rejected takeoff, or RTO, is initiated, the status cue inhibit is canceled when thrust on both engines is reduced below takeoff thrust. Communication alerts and the oral chime are inhibited when takeoff thrust is selected on either engine. The inhibit remains in effect until reaching 400 feet radio altitude or until 20 seconds after rotation. The cabin alert communication message is exempted from this inhibit. All other communication alerts occurring during this period activate at the end of the inhibit period. If an RTO is initiated, communication alert inhibits are canceled when thrust on both engines is reduced below takeoff thrust.
The master caution lights, oral beeper, and advisory level alert messages are inhibited at 80 knots ground speed and continue until reaching 400 feet radio altitude, or until 20 seconds after rotation. Even though the oral beeper and master caution lights are inhibited, caution messages are not inhibited during takeoff and display on EICAS as conditions dictate. If a caution condition occurs during the inhibited state, the master caution lights and oral beeper activate when the inhibit ends.
If an RTO is initiated above 80 knots, the master caution lights and oral beeper inhibits are canceled once ground speed is below 75 knots.
Advisory level alerts occurring during the inhibit activate at the end of the inhibit period.
If an RTO is initiated, advisory alert inhibits are canceled when thrust on both engines is reduced below takeoff thrust. The master warning lights and fire bell for fire warning level alerts are inhibited at V1 and continue until reaching 400 feet radio altitude or until 25 seconds after V1. If a fire warning level alert occurs during this period, the associated message immediately displays on EICAS, and the master warning lights and associated oral enunciation activate at the end of the inhibit.
The takeoff configuration warning function is disarmed when ground speed exceeds V1. If a takeoff configuration warning activates prior to V1, the master warning lights and siren automatically deactivate at V1. The associated EICAS message remains displayed until approximately 10 seconds after V1. The landing configuration warning is inhibited at rotation and continues until reaching 800 feet radio altitude or for approximately 140 seconds elapsed time from landing gear retraction. During descent, altitude alerting is inhibited with glide slope capture or with landing flaps selected and landing gear down. The status cue, communication alerts, and the oral chime are inhibited during descent from 800 feet radio altitude to 75 knots ground speed. The cabin alert communication message is exempted from this inhibit. During autoland, the master caution lights and oral caution beeper are inhibited during descent from 200 feet radio altitude to 75 knots ground speed. Caution level alerts that may require that a go-around be initiated are exempted from this inhibit. They are autopilot, no autoland, speed brake extended, and auto throttle disconnect. Even though the master caution lights and oral caution beeper are inhibited during landing, caution level alert EICAS messages are not. If a caution condition occurs during the inhibited state, the message immediately displays on EICAS and the master caution lights and oral caution beeper activate when the inhibit ends. Flight deck discrete panel lights are not the primary means of fault detection. Help locate and identify affected systems and controls, and to reduce the potential for incorrect selection of switches and controls. Discrete panel lights also provide system feedback in response to flight crew actions, to assist in system pre-flight configuration tasks when the engines are shut down and EICAS messages do not provide sufficient information.
The configuration warning system advisory message displays to alert the crew that a fault has been detected in the EICAS takeoff or landing configuration warning systems.
System is inoperative. The message may also indicate that one or both master warning lights or one or both warning loudspeakers are inoperative. If the message displays in flight, it indicates the landing configuration warning system is inoperative. Or again, the master warning lights or warning loudspeakers are inoperative. Recall all EICAS alert messages. Review the rest of the EICAS alert messages. Cancel the EICAS alert messages. Display all system status messages. Display the rest of the system status messages.
Cancel the status display. Here is a summary of alert inhibits that occur during the takeoff phase. Touch the green arrow when you are ready to continue. Here is a summary of alert inhibits that occur during the descent and landing phases.